Alright, so I finally got my hands on this Spider-Man set. And I was actually pretty excited about this. There's just some new characters. Any opportunity I get to get a new character on these shelves, that's a really glorious day in the toy room. I'm not going to do 8 videos, I'm just going to do one really long one. After I get them open, I'll kind of show you how I like them, and then that's how I'm going to review them. So if you need to skip through the video, because it's probably going to be like a 30-40 minute video, you can just get to the character that you want. Unless you want to listen to this whiny voice for 40 minutes, and by all means, watch the whole video. We're going to check out this Spider-Man's Marvel's Prowler. Now, I don't know why they're Marvel's Prowler all the time instead of just Prowler. And then you got Gwenpool. Really thought that was a cool character to finally do. Mysterio, to me, it was like I already have a Mysterio. But I love this figure, so I'm not going to complain that they sold me another figure that I already have. And then you have Spider-Man, Noir. Oh man, I was saying it so good until I started doing the video. And now that I'm doing the video, I can't say it at all. He's a new character for these shelves. The whole Spider-Verse thing, to me, it's kind of weird, but now that they're doing it, I'd kind of like to get all the characters in the Spider-Verse. Noir. I'll get it by the end of the video, I'm sure. And if I don't, then I don't know, maybe I'll just keep trying and see how annoying I can really be. We'll check him out. Then you have Spider-Woman in her new costume. It actually looks like a pretty cool toy, but I kind of like the dull spandex costume just a little bit better. And she was a little bit more curvy back then too. Then you have Spider-Punk. It's just as a character like, what are you guys sitting in your toy room going, man, you know what? You know who I need? I need a Spider-Punk. Well, yeah, I wasn't that guy. He is a cool toy, and I'm happy to get him on the shelf because I don't have one. And then you have the Lasher. The Lasher, to me, if you guys, and I know there's not too many guys out there that have the original Lasher. I do. I'll pull them out. But this one, to me, like, God, it just looks like a figure that I already have painted green, and now they call him the Lasher. We're going to check him out. We're going to put that lizard together, and we'll do a few comparisons. Got him out of the package, got him lined up. You can check the scale on him. Down here, we're going to start with the Prowler. Basically, he's my favorite figure in the set, mostly just because I was really excited to get a Prowler in my collection. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with him. And then we got Gwenpool down here. She comes 2 per case. She also comes with 2 different heads, so I don't mind getting 2 of them because I'm a sucker like that. The Lizard, however, I really wasn't that excited to get another Lizard, especially one with this ridiculously long tongue and a head that looks like a dinosaur. But after clipping him together, I think he actually looks pretty good. We'll see how he stacks up against the other lizards. Mysterio, I was like, God, a little bummed out knowing that I was getting a Mysterio because I really like the one that I have. After getting this one out of the package, I'm kind of leaning towards this one. I wish I would have got the one with the white head, so I still will get it eventually. I'll buy one whenever I see one. Hopefully I'll find one on sale, but I don't really see Mysterio ever going on sale because he seems like a pretty hot toy. And then you got Spider-Man Noir. God, I hope I said it right that time. Standing just right, just a little bit above 6 inches tall, which is weird because he's like the tallest one so far. If you kind of look over, I mean, the Lizard, you can kind of stand him up, but he's kind of made to like crouch down like that. But then here he is right next to Mysterio. He's slightly taller than Mysterio. I thought Mysterio would be the tallest one in the set, but actually he is. Then you have this Spider-Woman. Didn't really feel as if I needed a new Spider-Woman, but you're going to give me a new costume. No complaints. I'm happy to have her. A lot of new sculpted parts on her. I actually think she's pretty cool. Then you got Spider-Punk, which is kind of like, for me. But we'll check him out. I don't even know who I'm going to pull him out to compare with because I got so many Spider-Mans. And then you have the Lasher, of course. I'm definitely going to pull out my old one. I really prefer my old one. This one, man, it just looks just like a repainted everything with reused, but whatever. You had to get him to get this Lizard, and it's not like I would pass on anyways because I'm a sucker and I want my collection to be complete. We'll go ahead and start down here with the Prowler.
Alright,
so since this is the first 6-inch Prowler in our collections, I went ahead and pulled out the old Toy Biz 5-inch line. And this line to me, like, this used to be my favorite line to collect back in the day. And then I got really upset when they went to 6-inch, but after seeing how this 6-inch is taken off, I definitely couldn't predict the future. And now that they did it, I'm really happy with the 6-inch. Now this stuff is just like basically taking up valuable real estate in the toy room. So I'm probably going to have to condense these on the top shelf in the back corner as far as I can possibly reach for I can have more valuable toy space, because this collection just never stops growing. So here's the old one. I'm sure you don't really give a shit about him. Here's the new one. And voila, this toy is amazing. Look at that head sculpt. Kind of looks like Spawn. You know what? Maybe I will pull out a Spawn to compare him with. As soon as we're done looking at him, basically just, you know, Marvel Legends. A bunch of repainted stuff. Couple little new parts on here. Not really a big deal. I'm not going to beat these things up anymore, because if it looks like the character, I really don't care how many parts they reuse. And this definitely looks like the character. I think they did a great job. I love the cape on this thing. You can take the cape off over the head. What's the point? Because you're not going to display him without the cape. The green that they used, that avocado green, man, that thing just looks like pure magic to me. Not to mention this deep purple with that kind of like that pearl to it. Really, really happy with this figure. It's not just that I really wanted one in my collection. It's they gave me, he's perfect. He's absolutely a perfect action figure. I love this thing to death. I'll go ahead and pull out a Spawn just for you can see. All right, here's a Spawn, mostly just focusing on the head on these two things. Maybe I should go ahead and put this hand down for he's not like clawing at the camera. So there's a comparison on the head, and those things look very similar to me. Like, and man, they did a great job with this head sculpt with the wrinkles in there. Those like silver eyes or white eyes, doesn't matter. Really well done. Here's a Spawn one. Very similar. I don't know who copied who, nor do I really care, because I love both these characters. Here he is. Basically, he used to be a bad guy. He made friends with Spider-Man. No, he's a good guy. He's a Prowler. He's also a black guy. And if you want, you can pop on a Mordo head to have like an unmasked version. But why would you want to do that? Because this thing is toy perfection as Alright, so for comparisons, I went ahead and pulled out that Spider-Gwen for obvious reasons. These two, they're basically like, they go hand in hand. They're like the same figure to me. This is like the Spider-Man one, the Deadpool one. I love them both. I was really looking forward to getting both of these. I'm really glad that we have both. Except for when they did the Spider-Gwen, they gave you a really cool variant with a masked and unmasked head, an optional hood to fold down. Really cool. On this one, we kind of got a little bit ripped off, but since we got the backpack, I think that they're kind of feeling as if they don't have to. We basically just got a tongue in, tongue out head, which that kind of seems pointless to me. It's, I don't know, I would have much rather had like one completely unmasked. But they give you tons of hands, so you kind of need two, and plus she's 2 per case. And if you got to buy them by the case to try to get them, because they're really hard to track down in the stores. At least for me, I haven't seen any of these in the store yet. Then over here we have Deadpool. Once again, you got masked, unmasked. I thought that was really cool. Definitely have to buy 2 of those. The scale on these things is really good. Basically 5.5 inches, 6, just a little bit above 6. And down here we have Ladypool, Marvel Select. I think they did a really good job on her. She's a little too tall for Marvel Legends, but she's a great placeholder until we get the Marvel Legends one. I think that this toy will actually be a little bit better, but the other one will be more in scale. Let's go ahead and check out this Gwenpool. First off, she comes with a little cell phone, and she has a pouch to put it in. Let me try to get you a good close-up on that. They really did some thinking on this thing. Like, I love the G on there, the belt, the pouches, really nice. I like this little tight belt around her waist. He did a really good job. I love the Gwenpool ass. Jeez, just, God, the sword's kind of getting in the way, but I tell you what, not bad, Hasbro. Like, really doing a good job. The Penguin backpack, man, that is such a cool touch. Like, that is awesome. I know that, was it Mayfex is doing one. They're giving you like 2 different backpacks to choose from. That's just going to be like a clearance item for me, but I'll wait to see a couple reviews, check the scale on that. If the scale fits in the Marvel Legends, I might pick it up. If it's out of scale, then I definitely won't. The swords fit in there. They're basically the same swords we've gotten a few times before, but what did you expect? Did you actually think that they'd give you all this newness and give you new swords as well? Of course not. But the penguin, man, that thing just looks so cute and cuddly, and I love everything about it. As far as the rest of the action figure goes, they nailed it, man. Like, I'm just really happy with this whole thing. I think it looks really good. Really happy about it. We'll go ahead and show you, like, this is like her camera hand, do a selfie. Tongue out. Really happy with this figure. The paint job on it is nice, crisp, clean. And there it is again. God, it's almost like an eye magnet. You just have to look at it. There she is, really well done. Really happy to put a new figure on my shelf. All right, now we have the Build-A-Figure, the Lizard, my third favorite figure in the set. And I have to say, like, when they announced this, like, I was at Comic-Con, everybody pulled them out, and everybody's like oohing and ahhing, like, oh, the Lizard, the Lizard. And I was sitting there with pouty face going, God, dude, another lizard, man. I got so many lizards that we really need another lizard. I hate when they waste a Build-A-Figure on a figure that we already have. And then you get it, and you're like, hold on, wait a second. This figure's actually pretty good. Did I need a new one? Well, I don't know if I needed a new one, but I definitely like this one. So for comparison, I went ahead and pulled out all of my lizards for my lizard collection. And if you're sitting here going, wait a second, there's one of them missing. Where is the movie figure from Marvel Legends? Well, guess what? That figure and the Marvel Select Lizard came out at the same time, and I thought the thing sucked. I thought it was horrible, so I purposely passed. So therefore, I guess my Marvel Legends action figure collection isn't complete. I was trying to prove a point. I probably didn't, but I purposely didn't buy them. I just bought the Marvel Select one because I thought the Marvel Legends one was an embarrassment next to it. Like, this thing to me, he's like a perfect action figure. He really looks good, so I did pass on that one. It's one of the only ones that I've ever passed on. And I saw it on eBay, and I thought about buying it a few times, but I still hate that action figure, and I really don't feel as if I need it in my collection. Then you have the Marvel Select Lizard, which this was by far my favorite one, and when that, I was like, well, I have this one, so I don't need this one. But after putting this thing together, I realized, well, you know what? Maybe I do need another lizard. And then I like this one, but this one was too small from day one. Like, I thought he was a really cool toy. He actually has a bendy tail, and a bendy tail is everything. The only thing that I don't like about that one is that stupid articulated tail. Like, I just really hate that thing. And then you come down here, you got a couple more lizards that don't really look like the lizard, but they are the lizard. Like, this one kind of looks like, what's that lizard? An iguana or something? Yeah, I guess they kind of both do. But there, that rounds out my lizard collection. But let's get back to the one that we're actually supposed to be looking at. This one right here. First off, you know what? Let me pull out a few more comparisons. Okay, so everybody keeps saying that this new lizard looks more like a dinosaur than a lizard. But I always kind of thought a dinosaur and a lizard were the same thing. So here's a dinosaur. Go ahead and look at these heads next to each other. I can kind of see the resemblance there, but I mean, is a dinosaur really any different from a lizard? So everybody that's saying that, well, it looks more like a dinosaur than a lizard. Well, I think a dinosaur is a big lizard. Then you have Dinosaur Man, once again going back to the 5-inch collection twice on video, and this is something that I never do, and you're not gonna believe this, but this thing has an action figure. Pretty awesome. I know it's something a lot of you guys haven't seen before. I miss these days, guys. I mean, yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot, but it does do something. I think that's pretty cool. I wish that if you're gonna remake figures or make a figure, this is a figure that I'd love to have you guys remake. Do one of these things, actually do them in scale. Let me put him in my 6-inch collection. Right now he's in the 5-inch collection. He's gonna get stuffed in the corner somewhere, but he's not gonna go on a Tupperware because I don't play games like that. All of my figures are on display. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at this thing. First off, I think he's amazing. I think he's a beautiful toy. The head sculpt on him looks really nice. Tons of detail on that. The long tongue that everybody's complaining about that should come out or should be articulated just plugs in right there. He does have like, you kind of see like the knob or whatever. That doesn't really work, man. That should probably be like painted black or something. But there's that big long tongue. If that thing moved, it would be a little bit cooler. It doesn't. But at least they articulated the jaw. This thing, tons of detail on that. Look at all that sculpted detail on that thing. Looks amazing. The shirt underneath, is like an extra piece. It goes over. Once again, really nice. So I think it's, yeah, it actually moves. It's like a rubber shirt over. Man, that looks good. Looks so good. Like, you could almost make like a dinosaur man out of this lizard. With a few extra parts, I'd buy it and probably be happy. It'd still be too small, but at least I'd have another dinosaur man in my collection. The jacket, I think they did a really good job on that. They got dirt down here, but the white is almost too white. Like, it's super crisp and clean. Would have been nice if they would have did a little name tag. I know they've did it before, but they didn't feel like doing it on this one. That would have been a nice little touch. As far as the rest of the art, the figure goes, the tail, this is like, I would have really liked this, but the tail, why does he not have a bendy tail? Like are you going to pose your, like, it looks like the tail is broken. Is this how you're going to, is it like you could do like a lightning bolt or something with this tail? The tail sucks. Okay, like, do a bendy tail, do a solid plastic tail. Don't do this tail. This tail, to me, looks like shit. Like, I hate the tail. I really don't like it. I do like the jacket. Love the mud on the bottom. I love the rips in the pants. Think they did a really good job with that. Love how they always do, like, the purple, green, the Hulk, kind of like the Hulk colors. Really well done. The articulation actually has toe articulation. They haven't did that for a while. Then the ankles up here. You can actually kind of stand him on his toes, depending on how you want to display him. You can try to stretch him out, but it's like his knees joints. They don't straighten. Like, that's about as good as you can do on that, which is weird because you can't really get him standing upright. I don't really want him standing upright. I kind of like him in that crouch pose. There's the lizard. I think they did a good job on him. I mean, I was upset. Another lizard. Now he's my favorite lizard, so I guess I'm not upset, but the bendy tail. All right, then you have this Mysterio. I went ahead and pulled out the old Mysterio, which I really love this old action figure. He's got an action. I thought they did a really good job on him, except for this stupid dome on his head. Like, I hate that. I hate that it's gray. I hate that it's so big. I hate that it doesn't really look like a fishbowl. It just looks like a circle cut in half. I don't know. But they killed it on this one. Like, as soon as I see the one with the white head underneath, I'm going to buy that one also. Then I'm going to have two. And I'm totally cool with that because I kind of buy two whenever they have multiple heads anyways. Could you imagine if they would have put both heads in one package? Whew, that would have been fire. But that didn't happen. Let's go ahead and check out the old one first. I know I've showed him to you before, but I'm going to show him to you again because this thing is amazing. He comes with this stand. I got all these effects all over it, but whatever. The black part doesn't come with it, but the orange part does. These things are actually missiles. You can, like, turn this thing and shoot them. It's really cool. Let me go ahead and shoot it. I'll try not to lose them. Last time I did this, actually, I don't even know how it works. Oh, there you go. You just push it, they shoot. I think I already uncocked that one. But pretty cool. It's like a little demon, bug, bird, something. Kind of a nice little thing. Then he plugs on the stand there. Actually plugs on really well. This thing has a light on it. Please, baby Jesus, work. The dial on the back definitely sucks. But let's go ahead and see if it works. I know it will turn. And it lights up. Come on. This toy is like 15 years old, I think. And the battery still works. Technology is so amazing. Then you got like this demon head in there. I'm trying to get it to where you can actually see that it is a demon head. The dome doesn't come off. It's like glued on there. And then you have the human head in there. Definitely pretty cool. That's usually the one I leave it on. And now it's not moving. Maybe I broke. Oh, there we go. Then you're back to the alien head. Alright, I'm going to stop playing with this thing because it's like 15 years old. There's the head that I like. I love the light. Really cool. And as far as my complaints go on the new one, as far as comparisons go, I definitely like these yellow gloves better. Don't really care for the gold boots. This is, it's just too much green. Just way too much green. I love that these things are painted gold on this one. I think that would have been a nice touch. Those things are just painted purple. Just a little bit of color on this thing would have really set it off. If they would have painted the gloves yellow and the little eyeball things on his cape yellow, that would have been nice. This thing, an amazing toy, brand new sculpt, tons of work on this thing, no love at all whatsoever for the paint. It's like they spent all their money on the tooling just like they did on Man-Thing, and they gave him no love on the paint. You see this one, Also, this is all sculpted in, then they put a nice cool black wash on it to make the lines pop. Definitely adds a lot to the figure. This just kind of looks like a hunk of plastic. Now, I'm not pretending like I don't love this hunk of plastic, because I do. And for once, they finally come with a cool accessory, a cool magic effect. These things, like, they clip on his boots. Really well done. I really dig these things. It's kind of like an octopus smoke fire effect. And then I'm going to see if they make these things in green. If they do, I might buy one, put him with him. I think that would just kind of add to it, make him an even cooler display than he already is. Here's another one, clips on the other boot. God, this is fire. Now, I don't know who they could reuse this thing on, but I'm sure that they will, because that's what they specialize in. The gauntlets on this thing, I mean, they're awesome. I just think they would have been even more awesome if they would have painted them yellow. As far as the cape goes, I think they did a really good job. There's actually texture on the inside. That is really cool. The bubble head comes off. It obviously doesn't come off very easy. God, I hope the head doesn't come off with it. All right, so here's his head. This thing is amazing. I love the skull head. I love the octopus thing. I just wish that I had the white one, but I will have it someday, and then whatever. And then I got the green one kind of as a bonus. Maybe I could display one with like the bubble on, or maybe one with the bubble. No, I think I'll display them both with the bubble on, because without the bubble, he's really not Mysterio. Let's go ahead and put that back on. That looks so cool. I just wish that these eyes were yellow and just a little bit of a black wash. Okay, and the gauntlets were yellow. Other than that, I love this figure, love the effect. Do I like him better than this one? That's the question. Yes, I actually do. So I guess I'm not upset that they made a new Mysterio, because I think that this one looks a lot better than this one. Maybe we did need an update. Maybe I'm starting to see the light. Maybe I'll lighten up whenever they redo a figure that I love, because I actually love this one a little bit more than this one. Let's get to the next figure. Alright, so this is where the line starts to go down just a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Here's the reason why. It's Spider-Man Noir. Like, I never really cared for this figure. I was never sitting here going, man, I hope they make... No, it didn't happen. But it's a new character in their collection. I think they did a pretty good job on it. There's an obvious reuse parts here, but they added just enough new parts to make it feel like a new figure to me. So I'm totally cool with it. Let's go ahead and check him out real quick. First off, he has this little holster on his hip, which is cool. None on this side. It would have been really nice if they would have did two. The thing that I hate about this toy the most, and it's not the toy, because I actually think that it looks pretty good, and it looks like the character is supposed to look like. They added like this little turtleneck, a little collar, a new head. That's probably the only new parts on it, but for me, that's kind of enough. It's these stupid space guns. Like, this dude is supposed to be like from the 20s or 30s or something, just sometime really old, and he has space guns. So I went through my entire accessory drawer, and I was hoping to find some revolvers that weren't being used by somebody. I couldn't find any, so I found like some 9mm silver. I also had a set in black, but it got way too much black as it is. So I'm going to take these things, get them out of his hands, and he actually holds them really well. Put one of these in his holster because he has one, or maybe I'll just have him double-fisted. I don't really know yet, but I think that this will definitely look a little bit better than the space gun. God, I wish I had a revolver. I mean, I have them, but other characters are holding them, and it doesn't mean that much to me. Here he is, an up-close look at him. I guess basically just look at the head sculpt, the collar, and the turtleneck, because the rest of this figure you already have. And it's like they've kind of did so many toys and so many bodies at this point to where they can kind of mix match, and it's kind of like it starts to work. Before, everybody just kind of looked like Cuppy Buggy Cap repainted with, and you're even lucky if you got a new head. But now that's not the case, because they have so much to work with, to where basically all they have to do is just do a little add-on, and you kind of have a whole new figure. But here he is. It's not just black, like his mask is like a fat bag. The head is like silver eyes, and plus he's got tons of little detail on the head. The rest of the figure, you got him. And then the collar, the turtleneck, they went ahead and did that gray. I'll put these other 9s in his hand. We'll go ahead and I'll just do one on camera to make this video even longer than it's supposed to be. Wow, that actually fits in there really good. And it doesn't look much better than the space laser gun, but At least it's not a space laser gun. So I went and pulled out all the Spider-Woman, Spider-Girls, pretty much anything Spider that has tits except for like Gwen Stacy and Silk. Because their names don't really say Spider and you've already seen the Gwen. But here's a Spider-Woman, Spider-Girl collection. Basically what you have here is, let me get the camera down here without it going too fast. I don't want it blurry. She is basically the same as these two. You tell me before we even get into this, which do you like better? Like, I do actually like the new costume. I do. Like, I was thinking that I was going to hate it. There's actually some sculpted parts on here, but look at the, look at the obvious here. Like, you tell me, which costume, or like, how did, like, so I can see, did she have a reduction? I don't really, I mean, something obviously happened here, and she even maybe got a little shorter, not much. Let's check this part out. Ooh, huh? About the same back there. Maybe this one's actually been doing some squats. But this is what she used to wear. And this is like before everybody started having Woman's Day or whatever, I don't know. But now this is what she wears, a much more conservative version of this one. Like, God, like this and this skin-tight spandex suit, that's just like, wow. And then you have this and it's kind of casual. But I still like the figure. It's basically a new version of this one. It's the new costume. So if you would have just given me this figure over again, then I would be kind of upset. But since you gave me this figure over again in a new costume, I actually really like it a lot. It's not really a new character, but it's a new costume for a new character that I already have. The glasses do come off, but what's the point in that? Because then it's basically going to look like, I don't know, half the female figures that I already have. I don't know if it's a new head. It's kind of hard to tell these days because they've made so many heads that you can't really tell which of the new ones, if they're new or old or repainted or new hair. Like I said before, they got so many parts, it's kind of hard to tell if it's new or not. If the figure works, it works, and I'm happy. And this figure actually works. It is a little loose on the articulation. That kind of sucks, so you got to kind of put her in a good pose where she doesn't tip over. They went ahead and painted gloves on her, like you actually have like a little flesh tone there peeking through, painted a couple fingers. Mostly it's just all about this torso with these sculpted lines. This is something that they don't do very often because when they do it, it's hard for them to reuse the parts. So this figure, I really appreciate that they took the time to do sculpted lines on it. God, I just wish they did that with everything. It just makes for a better action figure. It feels more custom. Then you come down here to the boots, and I don't know if they're supposed to be boots or if that's just a spin. Come on, we know it's supposed to be boots, but they didn't do it here, but they did do it here. So they kind of hook you up, but they kind of rip you off. But here she is. I think she looks like a great figure. Sculpted wrinkle lines. I love when they take the time to do something like that. I like the orange glasses. They do come off. Well, go ahead and pick them up. I don't really want these things to pop across the room. There she is when you pick them up. Man, it's a really good-looking woman head on her, too. Like, let's do a comparison with her really quick as far as... Yeah, like this has like that painted flesh tone. Doesn't really look that good. This is like the plastic. Man, that really looks good. There she is. I like her. I don't love her, because I have so many Spider-Woman, Spider-Girls in my collection, but it's kind of a new thing. Then you have Spider-Punk. Yeah. You got a guitar that doesn't really look that cool, a vest that is really awesome. I can't wait to see how they're going to reuse that. A new head with spikes on it. It comes with basically rock and roll hand, fisted hand, pick hand, which I think is really cool, and a guitar hand. And then by far my least favorite figure in the set for obvious reasons. Come on, man. This thing really sucked. Like, they knew this Venom movie thing was coming a long time ago if they already planned for a shitty repaint like this. Come on, like, you got this. Let's repaint this. Like, God, dude, that's not even, like, that sucks, dude. Like, for one, this is the old Toy Biz Lasher. This is when they first started doing 6-inch figures, and I freaked out because they changed it from the 5-inch to the 6-inch. But I'm not freaking out on that anymore. What I'm freaking out now is a horrible repaint like this. Like, this is the Lasher. He's a character that not too many people know about. He's like one of the symbiotes. he's semi-cool, but when you do it like this, like you can do really cool things with this action figure. Like this thing like stands out in your collection. He's got tons of tentacles on him. He's got this big stupid whirlwind accessory that spins around, which kind of looks stupid, but I put on him anyways because I didn't want to put it in the drawer. This thing is really cool. If you want a good lasher, get your ass on eBay, pick one of these up. They're probably only like $5. I don't think they're very much. He's definitely cool. He kind of looks like a one-off toy. He doesn't just look like a toy that you already have repainted. Here he is. Quick look at him. Do we even need to have a quick look at him? Because I'm sure you already owed him. You've already seen him. So he's basically the same thing with some green splatter on him, same tentacles, same everything. Kind of has a pretty cool green sheen to him. But other than that, really disappointed in this figure. You have to get him because, I mean, you just have to get him. Plus, he has a building piece. I've already kind of showed you the collection as we went. This is the last figure in the set. If you're still watching, thanks for sticking it out this long. I know these videos are long, but what is better? A really long video or a like 8 long or 8 shorter videos? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you hate these long videos or go back to the short ones. It just kind of seems better just to get them all knocked out in one. Thanks for watching if you're still watching.